What's going on, everybody? It is Uturn Crowbat here, and you are watching Uturn Central. Now, before we get started, please make sure you go into the description, make sure you click on the link for Poketown, make sure you show them some Uturn love. Now, I am bringing you another Wi-Fi battle, this time against Benoit. He is known as King Granbull. So make sure you go into the description, make sure you click on his link, make sure you show him some Uturn love. That would be freaking awesome. So, I am bringing my Skarmory, my Starmie, my Manchow, my Venusaur, my Ninetales, and my Mudkips, my Swampert. Now, the thing is, he ended up getting a hold of me on Twitter, and he wanted to challenge me, and I wanted to challenge him. I forget who actually sent out the request first, but we got the challenge going, and this is the battle. Now, this is a great battle. It's a war. It's a war, guys. It's a war. So, I go into my Evil Bane while he goes out into his Helios and just barely takes me out. Now, I'm hanging on by a sliver, by a hair, because of my sturdy. So, I throw out my rocks there because I do have a plan for them later in the match. So, after I get my lefties, I'm thinking I should probably just switch out because I know that he's going to hit me with another T-Bolt and just take out my Skarmory. So, I do predict that pretty well because he ends up going out to his T-Bolt, and luckily that doesn't do a thing to me, because if I was just playing out water, that would have done awful amounts of damage. So he ends up going out into his Rotom fan to be precise, and he does get hurt with those rocks. Now, I do end up using my curse because I know that I can take, after a curse, I know that I can take any moves this Rotom has to offer. Now, he does get his own little lefties recovery there, which is awesome. The thing is, I did not predict a Willow at all. I mean, how often do I face a Rotom fan? Not that often. So I did not predict the Willow that well. And the reason why I went for the Scald is to try and get the burn off. I figured it wasn't gonna do too much, but I wanted to take that chance and try and get the burn. And so while I do use another curse, I was gonna say bulk up, but while I do end up using another curse, and while I am burned, I'm thinking I should probably switch out soon, because I don't want the burn getting to me. I can take another hit from the burn, but that's about all that I really want. Now, he goes out into his Executor, and this is another Pokemon I have never faced before. Now, I end up using Curse because I do want to get more defense up, and I want to be able to take more damage from the burn, and so I want to be able to take at least one hit from the Executor, but I do predict that he's going to be going for a Grass move, and so even with my Curse, I would die, pretty much. So, I switch out because I don't want to take any more burn damage, and I go into my Lodos, my Venusaur, my Mega Venusaur, because I am predicting a Grass move to come. So, he does throw his Leech Seed, and it does not do a thing because it does not affect my Venusaur at all. Now, he does get his HP recovery from the lefties, which is pretty cool. He just switched out, and he does go into his Fortress. Now, the thing is, I end up using a Sludge Bomb that was meant for the Executor, and my Sludge Bomb, it doesn't affect Fortress at all. It does not affect Fortress. Now, I end up double thinking and just looking at the moves that I have and know what damage it can do to Fortress. So I end up using my Hidden Power Fire, and I do end up taking the Fortress out right there, because he is weak to fire. And that's fan-freaking-tastic for me, because that Fortress, for all I know, it probably knew, you know, like Spikes or Stealth Rock or something. Now, he ends up going into his Charizard X, and he does end up Mega Evolving. Now, when he does get hurt with the rocks right there, at that rate, I am able to take him out with a Sludge Bomb. And after this Flare Blitz, let's just say I'm lucky it didn't take me out. Now, I am thick fat. That is one reason why, if not the reason, Flare Blitz did not take me out. But I end up taking the Charizard out with my Sludge Bomb, like I had mentioned, and I am living pretty well. but I am unable to take the Air Slash that this Rotom fan has to offer. It unfortunately takes my Venusaur out, but my Venusaur did its thing. It had its time to shine because it took out the Charizard X and it took out the Fortress. 2 pokes, guys. That's pretty freaking awesome. So I am very proud of my Venusaur for doing that. Now, I end up going out to my Orion, my Starmie, because I want to try and get Psy-Shock off on someone. Now, I did not want to take the chance of him going out into his Executor if I went for my Scald, or if he went out to someone who could take my Scald. So that's why I wanted to play it safe and go out into my and use my Psy-Shock, because it just barely takes the Heliolisk out. I guess I should have predicted the Dark Pulse, but I didn't, so it's whatever. But I mean, that's fine. It was a crit after all. Now, at this rate, I know that I can outspeed and take out the Heliolisk. So that's why I got into my matchup, because I can outspeed. But the thing is, he does withdraw, and that's a problem because my high jump kick is not going to do a thing to the Executor. And he does know Psychic, believe it or not. So I did not predict that well at all, because after this Lefty's recovery here, he just freaking shocked me with a Psychic. After I end up using the Stone Edge, I was trying to test it out. I wanted to see what kind of damage I could do to it. And clearly I can't do a thing to the Executor. So he ends up taking me out with a shocking Psychic, because I don't go up against Executors. I don't know what the hell they know. So it shocked me. So, you know, congratulations for that. I got into my Evil Bane because at this rate I want to try and get some more damage off on his team with the rocks. Now, he ends up going out into his Diggersby. A pretty great Pokemon for competitive battling if you haven't used it. So I end up using the Drill Peck just to kind of test what this Diggersby can handle, but obviously it can't handle shit. I mean, it can handle a lot is what I'm trying to say. So I end up using my Roost because I know that I'm going to need all the HP that I can get, because I know that this Diggersby will know some sort of fighting move or something, you know. So he ends up using the Bulk Up, which is just dead awful for me because I don't want to take Bulk Up fighting move from this thing because it'll just do more damage than what I want. So I end up getting my Lefty's recovery there, which helps me a lot. He does hit me with the Power Punch, which leaves me at 50 HP, and he does get his attack risen. Now I don't want him staying out anymore, so I decide to whirlwind his ass out of there, just because I don't want to take any more damage from a Power Punch. Now I'm glad I was able to bring out the Rotom fan because it is, you know, part flying, and he is horribly weak to rocks. Now, I end up getting my Lefty's recovery right here while I'm trying to plan a strategy. Now, he ends up switching out, and he ends up going out into his Executor, which is pretty cool because he does get hurt with the rocks. I mean, he doesn't do too much, but any damage is awesome. So I end up using the Roost, trying to predict he's going to switch out. So I use the Roost, and luckily I get all this HP back, plus my Lefty's recovery, which is fan-freaking awesome because I am living at full health right now. Well, pretty much at full health. Now, he ends up getting his Lefty's recovery while he uses the Protect, but it does not matter because I whirlwind him out of there again. Now, I'm glad I was able to kind of think of this strategy beforehand. Now, I don't know what you guys think of this strategy, but it's what I was doing. And if you guys hate that, then let me know, but whatever, it's going to be staying for a little while. So he ends up I end up bringing his Diggersby out, and even though he uses the power-up punch, again, it does not do anything because he has to get that attack risen once again with the power-up punch. Now, I end up taking him out because I have a Pokemon on my team that I can bring out to just get rid of the rest of his team, as long as his team is at a certain point that I'm easily able to take it out. And I'll leave that Pokemon for a surprise later, later in this battle. Now, I'm thinking now I can bring in that surprise because one, I can take a T-Bolt from the Rotom, and I know that I can outspeed the Diggersby and everything. And so I know that I can just use my flamethrower, because my flamethrower with the drought is going to be unbelievably powerful. So that's what I do. I end up using my drought flamethrower there, not predicting he was going to switch out, but it doesn't really matter too much because I end up taking the Diggersby out right here. And luckily for me, guys, I was able to take it out because that Diggersby could have taken my Ninetales out with an earthquake. So I am so happy I was able to take it out. Now, he ends up just bringing his Rotom in just to death fodder it because he wants to send in somebody good. So, I mean, that's what I was assuming. Now, he's just living after getting hit with the rocks. Now, he ends up using the Surf. A last-ditch effort, pretty much, but it does not do anything to me because I am under the drought, and I do end up taking it out with the flamethrower right here. And I am so glad I have the drought up because that Surf, guys, that Surf would have done awful damage to me. So he ends up going out into his Executor while I end up taking it out with another flamethrower right here. Now, I'm so glad I have Ninetales on my team because one, it can be bulky to some moves, and that's awesome. And plus the drought just makes it more fantastic because it just power up the flamethrower in my Willow, and it does make me go first because I know the move Solar Power, so it does make me go first. Like what I'm trying to say is that I don't have to wait a turn. So if the drought is up, I don't have to wait a turn for that Solar Power to wreck house. So that's awesome. I'm glad I have Ninetales on my team. This was a great battle. It was a great battle. I hope all of you guys enjoyed it. King Granbull, this is not our last battle. This was our first, but it will not be the last, dude. This will not be the last. You and I hopefully will have more battles in the future. Because at some point I will be bringing a new team to face against you. So we'll see what happens. Guys, do not forget to go into the description, click on his link, and show him some Uturn love. Now, his name is King Granbull, so don't forget that. Like I said, his link will be in the description. Do not forget to RCS to me, rate, comment, and subscribe. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Take care. Peace. Out though, and he ends up going out into his who was this? Oh yeah, his Arcanine. And luckily for me, he just